Evening all. As the title of this video suggests, it's an introduction video into 2x4 double O gauge layouts. Something that's not really touched upon, in my opinion, doesn't really get enough publicity, but nonetheless. In this video I'll cover certain types of locomotives you can run. Obviously, due to the size of the layout, it is 2x4, that's in feet and inches. Looks big on the camera, but all it is a layout on a piece of 1/2 inch ply, 2x4, 2 foot, 4 foot by 2 foot in dimension. This layout is also for sale. It will be for sale on eBay by the time you view this video. So we'll cover what's included, obviously not the locomotives or the controller, but the power clip that will be included in the sale. Track power cables can be purchased on eBay if you are using anything other than the ubiquitous Hornby red knob controller. Very good controller, but I prefer using Gauge Master controllers. So for this video I'm going to be using a Gauge Master Combi, as you can see. I'll try and make this video brief, not much space on camera, but it doesn't want to be too long-winded for what it is. As you can see, I've got a Hornby Bagnall running around in BR green, 2019 model, when I believe that came out. I think that's when I bought it new. I've also got some other models, quite surprising actually for what will run around. I'm quite surprised. What is here is what I have in my collection that I've tried on this layout and run. I think there's others that I haven't got, such as a Hornby Terrier, that will run around, as it is on the same chassis as the Hornby J94 over there. I believe Toby from Thomas and Friends, I believe he is on the same chassis as well. So we'll demonstrate as many as we can in the short space that I've got. So we'll run through locomotives that you can run on a 4x2 double O gauge over layout. O4Os, all O4Os will run around, as you can see, regardless of who manufactures them. We've got a small range here. We've got Bagnall diesel, we've got the Holden tank engine, we've got Smoky Joe. Here comes an infinite array of liveries. We've got Hornby 060 tank engines. They've been produced for decades. We've got some quite old ones here. We've got the Hornby E2 in LBSC chocolate brown. We've got the Southern Rail version, that's quite rare. And we've got the more common Hornby Ginties, LMS maroon and black livery. The key to it all is not necessarily the brand or make, but it is the chassis, or rather, when the camera can pick up this, how many flanges you've got. You want 060s that have no flanges on the centre drivers, the centre driving wheels. You only want flanges on the front and rear driving wheel, no flange on the centre driving wheel. Got a bit of contradictory information here. The J94, the Terrier and Toby, they have flanges on all wheels, but because the wheelbase is so short that they will run round, and in this video I'll prove that to you. As you can see, we've got some locomotives in the sidings. We've got a Hornby Ivet from, off the top of my head I can't remember the catalogue number, but it appears in the Hornby 1979 to 82 catalogue, I believe. Comes in 2 liveries, green or black. That runs round. We've got a Hornby M7 tank engine. This is the old one, more from the trying days, but this is featured in the 1981-82 catalogue, Ticket to Ride. It's in BR black lined livery. It also comes in southern livery, I believe. That also run around this. Your main problem is the tight radius of the curves. That is why you're limited to certain types of locomotive, but I suppose that's the whole point really. Minimum space, minimum budget railway. So obviously at the moment we've got an 040 going round, so I'll wait for him to come round to me before I take him off the track, and we'll run around something bigger. Stop him, put him back. We'll go for the Ivert. Now this is something that has to be seen to believe. That quite a moderate sized locomotive, and as you can see it's running around no problem. We'll slow him down a bit. And if you've got to change the point there, could have derailed the whole thing, but as you can see it's going round with a wagon on the back to see, just to demonstrate that you're not going to have any issues with coupling lock. But yeah, that's going round. Good sized locomotive for this layout, which is pretty good, which is pretty nice. Now it's nice not to be limited to just tank engines. Nice to have something bigger going round. So we'll let him come round. One thing it is to note, to get this to go around, I have removed the centre wheel set from the tender. I'll remove the wagon and show you. As you can see, there's only 4 wheels on this tender. There should be 6. I have removed the centre set in order to make it go around. With all 6 wheels it will just derail and you won't get anywhere. I've also added extra weight. That's not important. That's just a bit of modelling from me, really. Get the wagon put on and we'll back him into siding, see how many derailments we get. Next we'll run the J94. Here he comes. Very nice locomotive that. Hornby again. All of these locomotives are Hornby. And he's running around, no problems there. Back him into the siding. Very nice runner. Next we'll run, this is another surprising runner, surprising loco rather. It's the Hornby Caledonian Single in LMS livery. They've been producing this on and off since the 1960s. First started in Triang, then when the merger with Hornby, come on to Hornby. This is the more modern version. It's a bit of a stutterer. That's the only bad thing about the there was some problems there. Try and give it some more power. Nice locomotive, but even on my bigger layout it's still a bit stuttery. But nonetheless it runs round. Seems the point there. Once it gets going it tends to be pretty happy, and again it's towing a wagon there, so it proves that we're not going to have any problems with coupling lock. Stopped again. This being the modern version, there's pickups on the front bogie, which also helps. I did have an original one, but I found this to be a bit of a poor runner. But there you go, another surprise, one that I didn't think would actually run round. And we'll get him to come round again. Stutters occasionally. It does that on the other larger layout. As far as I'm aware with tender wheels, I've not removed any tender wheels from this one. They've got all 6 wheels, so I don't know why the Ivor tender derails and the Caledonia Signals tender doesn't. Next, another surprise, Hornby M7 tank. Like I said, this tank engine is from the early 80s. Try and produce this model first, and Hornby inherited it. It's a very nice model, this. It's very rarely been used, reasonably new, but the important thing is it's been serviced. But that's a different video altogether. Oh dear, we've derailed there. This didn't happen on my trial run. Maybe let's try it in reverse. There we go. I probably should have rehearsed this, but apologies for the fumbling around. Tension lock couplings, as we all know, are quite infuriating. So what we'll do is we'll see if it goes around in reverse. I probably should have tested it with rolling stock. Definitely didn't derail when I tested it light locomotive, light engine rather. There it goes round. There are steps leading up to the cab. My first thoughts was maybe the steps would foul the pony truck, but no issues there. They're articulating as they should. It seems to be quite happy in reverse, but nonetheless it's still going round. It's pulling a small train. Again, no problems with coupling lock. Yeah, we'll let you watch that go round against my better judgment. They go around one more time, then we'll pack it into siding, and we'll get one of these 060 tank engines going. We've got some diesels in here. We've got the Hornby 08 diesel. It's the older version, not the newer version. It's on the tank engine chassis. There we go. So points, because the points also on this layout do the isolating, so you want to make sure that you've got points closed, opened, whatever, so you don't get any locomotives just starting up when you want to start something else up. We'll just touch on this one quick. The Hornby 08, it's on the older chassis. Again, no centre flanges, and the camera's picking up, it's gone a bit blurry. These are the models that have the traction tyres on. When you're looking for locomotives for this layout, particularly more modern ones, locomotives with traction tyres on the centre, that's a dead giveaway that it will work. In fact, I'll prove it to you now. I haven't given this model a run for a while, to be honest with you, so I don't know. There we go. It's not done. It sat around being idle for a long time, and it still runs fine. Hello. That wants a bit more power, I think. There we go. Yep. Very desirable model, that. Very rare beast, to be honest with you. It's an analogue only. Majority of these are in DCC or have been converted. So, find one in BL green. Fair play to you. I believe this is 2004 model. They were definitely in the catalogue when I first started out many years ago. Okay, what else we're going to pick at random? We'll show Toby. Again, like I said, Toby shares the same chassis as the J94 and the Hornby Terrier. Unfortunately, I don't have a Hornby Terrier. One of those locomotives that I've been meaning to collect, but it just slips your mind. And he's going around there, no problem. We can slow him down a bit. There we go. That's Crawl. You've seen him running. We'll run an older model, an older Hornby 060 model. Here we go. We have a Ginty. Like I've said, it's no centre flanges. The wheels are flat. I think the centre drivers are slightly flanged, but the centre drivers don't touch the rails, so you won't get any derailments around the curves. And again, we'll prove the pudding. It's quite a nice runner. It's been serviced as well. Runs around, no problems. I suppose I should demonstrate it towing a wagon, just to prove you're not going to have any coupling lock issues. Here we go, we have a wagon, conveniently to hand. It's a long wheelbase wagon, by the way, so this will be interesting. And we've not got, there we go. Didn't put enough power on. Oh dear, we've got the derailment. I stand corrected. Another trick you can try with these railways is removing one coupling hook rather. I've had prior experience to these small layouts. I've built one in the past. I don't have it anymore. I sold it to build a bigger one. But again, now it's winter, stuck inside, I thought I'd like to build another one. I have no interest in keeping this layout. It's just something interesting to do. Sort of pushing the limits of what can be done with 00. And there we go, we've got another disaster. We'll find something more suitable. I personally don't like long wheelbase wagons. I think they're hideous and out of scale. That technical problem. This is all live. You're getting everything, warts and all. There's going to be no editing in this video whatsoever. Because if I did that, that'd be brilliant. It would come across as a picture perfect layout, no issues whatsoever. But as we all know, a model railway, you get problems. And for some reason, this particular model has decided I haven't tested this model on this layout by the way. That's something that small layouts like this, you'll have to, it'll be a game of try and error to see what models run around. Take that out. We'll try another Ginty. Here's another Ginty, LMS Black. It's a more recent model. Steel buffers as they did give away again. No centre flanges, just traction tyres. Well, traction tyres are actually missing off this model, but it would have traction tyres. No traction tyres. Torres video makes no difference whatsoever. Now coupled up, see that running around. Again, this model hasn't run in months. It's been serviced, but it runs around with very little problems. So yeah, when getting your locomotives for this layout, I've given you a rough guide of what will and what won't. But generally it's trial and error. But there you have it. 060s and no centre flanges. Old Hornby Iverts will run. J94 will run. Toby will run. Hornby Terrier will run because they're on the same chassis. And an older Hornby M7 from the early 80s, and that comes in Southern Railway livery, I believe. So you have it. You've got Smokey Joe, like I've said, he comes in for array of liveries, LMS, Caledonian Blue, which I have one, various British Rail liveries. You've got Holden Tank, Great Western, again comes in loads of liveries. You've got the E2s, otherwise known as Thomas. I think we'll run Thomas. We'll make Thomas the last one that we run. So I'm sure many of you are quite eager to see Thomas run around. He hasn't been run for months either. In fact, he's still got dust on the cab block from storage. But again, he runs fine. And if I haven't stressed it enough already, this particular Thomas is the older model with the traction tyres and no flanges on the centre set of driving wheels. And as you can see, it goes round. He's decided to stop on the point. Again, this is, some locomotives will love your layout, some locomotives won't. As regards to the layout, it stopped again. I think we'll knock off the locomotive running. But as regards to the layout, sidings are irrelevant in this video, but on this one I've added, you've got 3 good sidings. One could be a shed, one could be a engine shed. You've got a siding there, it could be a bay platform, a terminus platform. Your goods yard, you could shunt the goods yard. There's endless amount of hours, minutes you could spend shunting the goods yard. Very capable layout, particularly if you shunt it with an 040 or an 060 that you find to be a good runner. One good runner that I have in my collection, it must be the best 060 runner I have. A J13 in Great Northern livery. This was the second locomotive I owned when I was Lord knows how old. A boy, shall we say. A very beautiful locomotive in the Great Northern livery. That is a very good runner. But yeah, there you have it. 4x2 oval double gauge layout, scratch built, very handy. Fits in a small area, ideal if you live in a small house or a flat where space is at a premium and you quite fancy a model railway. Let's face it, there are lots of people out there that want a model railway but put it off because of cost of a smaller gauge like N gauge and more recent TT, and put off by space because the general narrative is that you can only have 00 in 8x4 or 6x4, as I've proved. That's completely nonsense. Unfortunately, the trend of small compact 00 layouts is gaining momentum, is kicking off, but there needs to be more information out there, I believe. And like I said, this layout is for sale. Will be for sale by the time on eBay by the time you see this video. Obviously, locomotive stock not included, controller not included, power cable not included. Although you can purchase these if you decide to run a gauge master controller. I personally favour the combi, but you can get them reasonably cheap. In fact, you get them same price second hand as what you can the legendary red knob controller. This is actually from my train set, the Hornby Rambler, but I'll just have it in the video for show. Old controller, been around for years, works very well, much better than the modern silver controller Hornby supply nowadays. In fact, this power cable that I'm rigging up actually was cut from a modern Hornby DC controller that just shorted out and it's failed. This combi controller, although it doesn't come with an adapter, but you can run it from a Hornby adapter, and that is a Hornby adapter from said controller that failed that I pinched this from. To hook the layout up, these are available from either Hornby themselves or various retailers on eBay that make them. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you found it interesting and got some sort of information off it and some enjoyment. I definitely have had some enjoyment building it. I don't build many a year. In fact, this is the first one I've built this year. But yeah, I might build another one, but like I said, they're very time consuming to build. Obviously, they've got the grass mat, the static grass mat, laying out a track, measuring it all, make sure your radiuses are constant. That's the key on this. Get a constant radius. You don't want one that's too short that way or too long that way, because you then get problems. So yeah, it's taken me a month to build this. And like I say, it is available. It will be available on eBay by the time you view this video. Yeah, well, I say thank you for watching.